how was the MBA application process for you? And what do you think are the key steps that one should, focus on? How much time do you devote on the GMAT, and then how much time on the application? So what worked for you?
So GMAT, again, there are a few things that I would suggest for the new aspirants that could have that they can do a lot better than what I did. So I would say, I think if somebody who's really sharp, who's really very close to the say quant and verbal side of it, or who has a very strong base, can probably do GMAT within 2 months. But I would say for somebody who's like starting like fresh with like like me, I would keep a minimum of 3 months, dedicated 3 months. When I say that, at least 2 months on an or 2 hours on an average every day, kind of preparation to kind of get that engine cranking, rusty engine cranking. So GMAT at least three to, and also we got to give some buffer for retakes because not everybody cracks it at the first go. So I would say between 3 and 4.5 months is what they should dedicate for GMAT prep. And for applications as well, it is a good couple of months. And I would say application is a wonderful process because it's a lot of self exploration, self reflection, what you've done till date. And I think that's the most part of it. I think the biggest part of it is trying to see for the past how many ever years of work experience and whatever you've done even before that, trying to put it all together in one place, and then try to build a story of, let's say, where you were and what the MBA is trying to is going to help you with, right? So it's that story, that narration that comes along at that point. And I think that is where um, I was not one of the best, though I was in the sales department in my last role. I felt like I was not very great at storytelling, and also self reflection on, because what do you even think of, right? And that's when I think I reached out to you, and I think you as a mentor has been like phenomenal from day one. Very you were always there whenever I had questions, right from day one of our interaction, where I had some questions about how do I even go about this, right? And what kind of goes into the, like, you had some specific points where I didn't know even what to write about those. So then finally, those questions kind of intrigued a lot of thought processes in me, where I had to go back to a lot of instances, which probably I would have never done to that level of deep thinking. So I had to put together all of those, and then you really helped me. You really was a great mentor in that perspective, where you kind of said, I would say you knew very clearly like what each school looked for, which is very important. I think I think one sort of a very base is not going to work for every school, because every school looks for a different thing in a candidate. Though it's all MBA school, I would say, for example, IIMs versus ISB, right? They look at very different aspects in a student. Though it is holistically very similar, but still the stories that kind of are expected, or that they look out for, are quite different. And I think that expertise is something was of great value for me, and trying to get those all together and put a very compelling story for each school. I was fortunate enough to get interviews from almost every school I applied for. So yeah, I mean, all thanks to you for that.